Oh, I'm going to play some of my favorite Sabbath riffs, or just a few of them. I'll do a bigger video on more riffs. But Tony tuned to C sharp a lot. I'm not tuned to C sharp. So you have a couple options. You can transpose them into E, which is what he did on Techno XC and Never Say Die. And of course, when Dio was in the band, the few C sharp songs got played in E flat. Or you can learn to adapt and see what you can get away without inversions. Like Snowblind, technically, but it might actually sound okay like this. So that's obviously some of my favorite riffs. And then, I love that part where Ozzy's saying, "My eyes are blind, but I can see," or something. So you would do that if you were to stay in E tuning. Now, if you played it in like E standard, like he did on Never Say Die, that's how you would play it. But if you're like, I want to keep it in the original key, that's the best way to adapt it. Another cool one, Cornucopia. Technically, once again, he actually played it in the E position. That's just that doesn't sound right. Too high pitched for that song. So you can either tune to C sharp, or you can do this inverted thing, or I do this other trick where I tune just the bottom string to C sharp, and it covers the songs pretty well, actually. Or you can do the inverted, and the inversion is, once again, actually works pretty well for that song. Okay, another really cool one that you can actually adapt this one into standard tuning and play it in the proper key. Use a big inverted chord. Once again, he was tuned to C sharp. I know this. Everything is written in the E position. I know this. In fact, I'm one of the few people that pointed this out a long time ago when I saw people playing Sabbath Riffs wrong. But I've learned a lot about transposing and inversion since then. So, Under the Sun. Get you close to the feel, or you can drop the bottom string to C sharp. It's a weird alternate tuning I created. I'll show it to you. that too. I know it sounds weird because it's like drop D except to have a step lower than drop D and everything else is still in standard. Yes, I know how to do all these weird transposings. Children of the Grave. A couple ways you can do it. It really needs that low note. You can either, I'll show you, you can play it in C sharp. I've got the string down to C sharp, everything else is in standard. Or if you wanted to, if you have a singer with a high voice or you just want your singer to choke, anyways, these are some of my favorite Sabbath riffs. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, I'll show you one more, and then I'll show you how to like transpose it, but I'm going to show it to you the position it's in, then I'll show you how to transpose it to C sharp. Kind of cool, or if you're like, you know what, I want to play it in the correct key, but I don't want to do. And that ending part, you know. Transpose it if you want to, or like how you would adapt it to standard tuning, or if you're like, you know, I want to play it in E, okay. So you have options, okay. And I've heard Iommi play it in E. Ozzy wasn't singing on it; he was just kind of doing it during like a live solo jam between '77 and '78 during one of his solo, you know, interludes. And he was just playing it in E, and then he played it in E flat. A couple of times with Dio. Dio once again didn't sing it. It was just during a jam interlude. He didn't actually play that song again with vocals until the Cross Purposes tour, and I think on the Forbidden tour. And then he was playing it E flat because he was tuned to E flat. I like things to be in their correct keys, but also like things to be in their correct position. So I'm weird. So I've learned how to kind of do that. I've learned how to kind of adapt the, you know, I've learned how to adapt the song. And, oh yeah, another one. This one, actually, you could probably get away with not having the low note on, because he doesn't really use the low note much, unless he's kind of slightly droning it. But Tomorrow's Dream. Does he really play it? That's okay. It's too high. That doesn't work for that song. Now, Children of the Grave actually kind of sounds cool in E. But that song, no. But you can just... Now, Into the Void, yeah, you got to have that low note. That song rides on that low note. I know I said I'd show one more riff, but I lied, I guess. Why not? Into the Void. If we're playing it in E... Wait. bit high. He did play it in E flat on Cross Purposes tour, but if we want to play it in the right key, but we don't want to tune the whole guitar, just tune this bottom string. That's about it. So yeah, that's how I would approach those riffs, being in E standard. And if you didn't have a C sharp guitar, or you're just like me, you just don't really like tuning your guitars down, you can still get away with tuning just the bottom to C sharp, and you can play the majority of the stuff, and everything. The whole rest of your guitar is a normal 440, and like I said, on some songs, do the inversions. OCD, I wanted my E to be back to E. But, or if you're just trying to make your singer hit high notes or watch them suffer in agony if you're covering some Sabbath tunes, then play them in E and laugh at your singer, but then your singer will probably be mad at you and be like, what are you doing to me, bro?